Hello Grace Church. It's been an unprecedented week of seismic change in our nation. This time last week things were looking relatively normal, but now as a nation it feels like we're in turmoil, and following on from yesterday's announcement by the government, we need to dramatically change how we live in order to protect the vulnerable during this time. In light of government advice, we have decided to cancel all church gatherings for the foreseeable future. So this includes our Sunday services, our midweek groups, and all of our other ministries. In the next few minutes, I'm going to outline to you the steps we are taking to adjust to these changes. A few weeks ago, I laid out our vision as a church to build a thriving community that reaches Nottingham with the gospel and replicates this across the UK. The circumstances have temporarily changed, but our vision hasn't. So let's look at how we can still step forward together as a church and build this beautiful, transformative community that God's called us to be. So firstly, how can we and what does it look like for us to build a thriving community in this time? Firstly, we've got to ensure that we are connected to a home group, because home groups will really become the hub of our community here. Home groups will communicate to each other using WhatsApp. Through WhatsApp, each group will encourage, support and pray for one another, even as we remain physically separate. If you're not in a home group, now is actually a great time for you to join. So please get in touch with the church office, and we'll invite you to join a suitable group so that you can have that vital pastoral connection. Every single week, we as a church will send through a video link to Sunday's preaching starting from this Sunday. We will also include follow-up resources. There'll be things like life application questions. We'll provide resources for children to follow along with the preach. And even though many of us will be worshipping in our separate homes, I would love us to be worshipping, listening to the preach and praying at around the same sort of time. And so what we're going to do is aim to worship together at 10 o'clock, listen to the preach at 10:30 and then pray and respond after that. We have an electronic version of our songbooks which we'll send through to you, and this will also help you to worship during this time. For everyone who is more vulnerable in our community, we'll be ensuring that there is someone who's going to ring them regularly, who's going to get alongside them and pray for them. And over the week, we'll be setting up, in the next week or so rather, we'll be setting up a pastoral care phone line. This will be manned by a member of the church leadership team, and you'll be able to ring if you need any support, if you need help, or you just simply want to talk something through with someone. We'll also be setting up a prayer team to pray for everyone who is involved in the NHS, because they will very much be on the front line during this pandemic. We have a crisis support fund set up to help those in financial difficulty in the church, and the number of people needing this help and support will obviously dramatically increase in the coming weeks. And so I would love you to prayerfully consider whether you could give a one-off gift or increase your regular giving in order to support those who are financially affected by this crisis. We were due to be doing pledge days at the end of the month, but these will be postponed until after the crisis. If you're struggling financially though, please do not hesitate to get in touch and we'll do all we can to help. We are also continuing to run our food bank here. It happens on a Monday and a Friday, 12 till 2 p.m. and we're currently struggling to get hold of supplies. So if you're able to drop off any donations, that would be of great help and it will really support the most vulnerable. So that's how we're going to build a thriving community here. How can we reach Nottingham with the gospel? Well, over the coming days and weeks, we'll be providing ideas for ways in which you can reach out to your neighbours and where you can love where you live, love the people around you, look after them. So these will include things like postcards through people's letterboxes, offering to help those who are the most isolated. There's currently a huge amount of fear in our nation, but we are called to be different. As expressed on Sunday, my prayer for you is from 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, and it says this: "For God gave us not a spirit of fear, but of power, of love and self-control." Finally, in terms of replicating this across the UK, this crisis is temporary. And as a church, we can come out of it stronger, with better community and with better connections with our neighbours. This will enable us to continue to move forward as a family of churches and also to be a blessing to our nation and beyond. If you have any questions, then please contact us via email. The email address is hello@gracechurchnottingham.org, and we will pick them up and get straight back to you. We might be physically isolated, but no one is alone in this. Let's keep encouraging one another because He is good and He is with us.